one of the oldest economic systems in history was designed thousands of years ago and came directly from the Bible. Long before modern banking, taxes, or financial planning existed, an entire nation was given a system designed to create stability, prosperity, and long-term wealth. This system was given to the nation of Israel through the laws recorded in the book of Deuteronomy and other parts of the Old Testament. But most people read these passages only as religious laws and miss something deeper. Hidden within them is a wealth system, a framework designed to manage resources, prevent extreme poverty, and build sustainable prosperity across generations in this video. We will uncover the hidden wealth system God gave to Israel and why its principles still matter. Today, Section 1 wealth was never meant to be random. One of the first things we learn from the Bible is that wealth was never intended to be random or chaotic. The nation of Israel was not just given spiritual guidance. They were given laws that shaped their entire society, including agriculture, trade, property, and economic responsibility. These instructions were delivered through the leadership of Moses, who guided the Israelites after their liberation from Egypt. The purpose of these laws was not simply control. They were designed to create order, fairness, and long-term prosperity within the nation. In other words, the Israelites were given a system meant to prevent the destructive cycles of poverty and corruption that often damage societies. Section 2, the foundation. Stewardship at the heart of this wealth system was a powerful idea, stewardship. Stewardship means managing resources responsibly rather than treating them as something to waste or misuse. The Bible teaches that the land and resources ultimately belong to God, while people are entrusted to manage them wisely. This perspective changes how wealth is viewed. Instead of seeing money and resources as something to hoard selfishly, they are viewed as responsibilities that must be handled with wisdom. This mindset encourages careful planning, ethical behavior, and long-term thinking. Section 3. The land system. One of the most important elements of Israel's economic structure was land ownership. When the Israelites entered the Promised Land, the territory was divided among the tribes and families of the nation. This distribution ensured that families had access to productive land. Land meant food. Land meant stability. Land meant the ability to support future generations. But there was also an important rule. Land was not meant to be permanently concentrated into the hands of a few powerful individuals. Over time, systems were put in place to prevent extreme inequality from developing. Section 4, the Year of Jubilee. One of the most fascinating parts of this system was something known as the Year of Jubilee, described in the book of Leviticus. Every 50 years, land that had been sold or lost would return to its original family. This rule prevented permanent loss of generational wealth. If someone experienced financial hardship and had to sell land, their family would not lose it forever. Eventually, it would return to them. This created a powerful reset mechanism in the economy. It ensured that wealth could not remain permanently locked away in the hands of a few families while others were trapped in endless poverty. Few ancient societies had anything like this. Section 5, the principle of tithing. Another major component of Israel's system was the principle of giving. The Israelites were instructed to give a portion of their resources for the support of religious leaders, community care, and social support. This practice is often called tithing. Tithing served several purposes. First, it supported the priests and religious institutions that guided the nation spiritually. Second, it helped provide assistance to the poor, widows, and strangers. Third, it reinforced the idea that wealth should be used responsibly rather than selfishly. This system created a culture where generosity and responsibility were built into the economic structure of society. Section 6, protecting the vulnerable. Another key part of the biblical wealth system was protecting the vulnerable. Laws were created to ensure that those who struggled financially were not completely excluded from survival. For example, farmers were instructed not to harvest every corner of their fields. Instead, they were to leave some crops behind so that the poor could gather food. This practice was known as gleaning. It provided dignity to those in need because they still worked to collect food rather than relying entirely on charity. This approach balanced compassion with responsibility. Section 7, the role of hard work even though the system included protection for the vulnerable. It also emphasized the importance of work. The Bible consistently encourages diligence and effort. This theme appears repeatedly in the book of Proverbs, many of which were written by Solomon. Hard work, discipline, and wise planning were seen as essential parts of prosperity. The wealth system of Israel did not eliminate personal responsibility. Instead, it encouraged individuals to use their skills and opportunities wisely. Section 8, Avoiding destructive debt. Another interesting principle found in biblical law was caution regarding debt. While lending was permitted, there were protections designed to prevent exploitation. For example, charging excessive interest to fellow Israelites was discouraged. That was not meant to become a tool for trapping people in endless financial struggle. Instead, lending was meant to help others recover from hardship. This principle shows that the biblical system recognized the dangers of financial imbalance and attempted to limit it. Section 9. Why this system was unique. When we compare this ancient system to other ancient economies, it stands out. Many ancient societies were dominated by powerful elites who controlled land, wealth, and labor. But the biblical system attempted to create balance. It promoted stewardship, fairness, generosity, responsibility, long-term thinking. These principles work together to form a system designed for stability rather than exploitation. Section 10. What this means today. Even though modern economies are very different, a few underlying principles of this system still apply today. Stewardship remains important. Generosity remains important. Hard work, discipline, and ethical behavior still play major roles in financial success. The biblical wealth system reminds us that prosperity is not just about accumulation. It is about responsibility, wisdom, and community stability. Final message. Thousands of years ago, the nation of Israel was given more than just spiritual laws. They were given a system designed to create economic balance and long-term prosperity. This system included stewardship, land management, generosity, protection for the vulnerable, and personal responsibility together. These principles formed a hidden wealth framework that shaped an entire civilization. And when we study these ancient teachings today, we begin to see that wealth is not just about money. It is about wisdom, structure, and the way a society manages its resources. Call to action. If you want to uncover more ancient financial wisdom hidden in the Bible, subscribe to the Biblical Wealth Code, because in the next video, we'll explore another powerful biblical principle about wealth that most people completely overlook. And once you understand it, it may change the way you think about money forever.